Hey guys, I'm back and I have something a little different today. We're going to be making some awesome freaking t-shirts, okay? So I made this one and I thought it was so cute that, you know what, I had to make a tutorial on it. I practiced with like a crappy t-shirt first, and then I made this for a tailgate that I was going to, the FSU UM game. Obviously I'm a UM fan. Um, so yeah, let's just jump right into it. So first what I did is I just laid out the t-shirt, and what I did is I just took any box or any basically straight thing like a ruler. You don't have to be ratchet like me and use a box. You could use like an actual ruler and measure like perfectly from the bottom of the sleeve to the top of the collar and just cut going a straight line up towards that. And then what I did next was then I just went ahead and cut the top of the sleeves all the way through, because we're actually going to cut the back of the shirt off. So just go ahead and flip it on the back, and then we're just going to roll that flap down and then just cut it straight across. And you just want to make sure that you're even. That's why I got my ruler, and then I just kind of measured with like a pencil lightly across the back to make sure my line was straight. Yeah, we don't need no crooked lines over here. So then next what I went ahead and did was just cut off that like ribbed collar that comes on every standard t-shirt, because we're just going to actually flip it back over and fold it down. So yeah, we're going to fold that down because we're going to put our braided tie through there that ties around our neck. And what I used was just regular pins to pin it to see how I want it and where to put it exactly. And I'm just going to go ahead and use some fabric glue to do that, because, you know, ain't nobody got time to stitch, and I don't have a sewing machine. So it's, if you just go to wherever, Joann's or any fabric store, they have this fabric glue. It's super cheap and it works really, really well. So then I just went ahead and glued the just about, I would say, an inch down from the original curve of the collar, if that makes sense. And then I kind of had these little like flaps left over on the corner, so I just went ahead and cut those off. You don't need those. So next I just went ahead and cut the bottom off. That way it's more of like a crop top, or it's, I would suggest before you start cutting your shirt to kind of just measure on your body where you want the shirt to come up, and just go about half an inch lower, because since you are cutting the t-shirt, it will kind of roll up at the end. And then with the excess fabric, I just went ahead and cut off the bottom rim, the bottom stitched part, so it's just loose cotton fabric. And then I went ahead and cut that into threes, because that's what we're going to use to braid to make the neck piece that ties around our neck. So make sure you pull the pieces of string tight to make them as long as possible, and then just go ahead and tie the one side in a knot. And then you are going to just do a simple braid all the way through to the other end. Once you're done with that braid, just go ahead and do the same knot on the opposite side. And then what I did is I took a safety pin and just pinned it on one side, just that way it's a little bit easier to feed it through that small hole, and then just thread it to the other side, pull it through, and just do any minor touch-ups that you have to do with your glue or whatnot. So at this point you should have something that looks like this, and this is super cute if you like the loose style, boho style. I love it, but you can't really wear a bra with it because it would show in the back unless you have like chicken cutlets or like pasties or something, which I don't have. and my boobs are way too big to just be like flopping around. So I just went ahead and took some clips and I just clipped the back of my shirt to kind of make a mock of how tight do I want it to fit at the end. And then what I did was I replaced those clips with safety pins. That way when I took the shirt off, the clips didn't come flying off, which I should have done in the beginning, but I was an idiot. So anyways, I took the safety pins and wherever they were, I just kind of made little pencil marks, and then I took out the pins, and then I just connected the lines of the pencil dots. And what that does is it gives me two straight lines, and that's basically how much fabric I can get rid of to get the size that I need. So instead of just cutting it out, I just went ahead and glued it together and then cut the excess out after. It's kind of hard to glue two pieces of fabric together after you cut them like in a perfectly straight line, so I just made sure my glue line was super straight and then cut off the excess afterwards. I think that works better. I hope I'm making sense because this sounds like really confusing. I hope you guys are getting this. Hopefully you could see on the video what I'm doing. Basically just glue and cut off the extra in the back. So when you're done, go ahead and make any minor adjustments, cut off any excess strings or any uneven parts like I'm doing, because you know we need to look classy, not trashy, because trashy is for the FSU girls. Did I just say that out loud? I'm sorry. Alright guys, I'm out. I hope you enjoy your shirts.